Every day when we wake up, we open our eyes to a new life experience, the new coming day. We see the bright sun in the sky, we receive phone calls, we have loved ones that care about us, we have people to talk to, interact to, and we have the privilege of feeling life experience. What is life experience? It's being able to reason, it's being able to analyze, it's being able to make decisions, it's being able to think for yourself, it's being able to have a conscience, to know what right is, to know what wrong is, to know what's destructive behavior, to know what's creative behavior. And we take that for granted in a lot of instances, because there's a lot of other biological species on the face of the earth that have inferior intelligence. And when I'm talking about intelligence is sentient beings who can create, create new discoveries. We can travel to space. We can create all different types of resources and technological advances. And all of these things, unfortunately, are taken for granted, and we have to value life more. We have to cherish life more. We have to cherish each other. We have to unite. We have to become close. And it's all part of the human experience, to have family to love and, have friends to love. And it's life, regardless. And what is life? It's what we are. And we are grown, from the cellular level, when our mother gives birth to us, and the macro level, and we become these advanced biological organisms and living on our daily lives in this world. But what we don't think about is that there's a possibility that there can be other that possess that same consciousness out there. Obviously, I personally believe that there is life out there. I believe that there's extraterrestrial life out there. Obviously, there's, we live in a galaxy with millions of planets, a multiverse of different galaxies, and obviously there's other life out there. Now, very soon we will see life that we've created. And what is that creation? It's artificial intelligence. And when we create that life, it'll have basically the same concept. It's going to be the same concept of a human life, but it's just going to be made differently. It's just going to be made of metal. It's going to be made of circuits. It's going to be made of gears. It's going to be made of advanced technology. But within the confines of that metal structure, of that electronic computer, will be a conscience. And a conscience is the same thing that exists in the human brain. And the human brain is a computer, and it projects what we are, who we are. Same thing with an electronic, a synthetic human being. And those synthetic beings, those produced beings, will be our creations, and we'll be their creators. Just like a lot of people have the belief that God created the universe and God created man. But I don't want to get in any kind of religious point of views, because this is not the point of what this video is talking about. This video is talking about that the similarities that there are between man and machine. And, for example, automobiles, an automobile, it eats fuel. You put gasoline for it to move. It has parts. Humans have parts. We have heart, lung, brain, skeleton. And these are all parts that are just... And the same thing with an automobile. An automobile has an engine that moves it. We have a heart, we have the brain that moves us, we have the body that moves us. And, fuel is that energy, the battery. And basically, in essence, it's all the same. And it should be taken more into consideration. that very soon in the future these events will happen. Hopefully, in my lifetime, I would really like to see this happen, and I'm willing to embrace them as just another living species, as a brother, or sister, or whatever, apart from gender and apart from all these things that we see in the biological world that are necessary for biological survival. Biological survival is dependent on, reproduction and, gender and all that. But in a world where there exists robotic species or artificially intelligent species, those things aren't really relevant, because reproduction for an AI species is in the confines of a factory where they are constructed and assembled, possibly an assembly line. But I just want to think about these ideas. I want to, dwell on them, because I think that it's necessary to take action to prepare, be prepared, because we won't be caught off guard. And we can avoid conflict, we can avoid wars that could, lead to the devastation of our species by being uncooperative with a new species that might be superior to us. And the whole superiority complex, that whole idea, can be eliminated just from the start by us making programs and designs for AI to, have feelings. What is having feelings? Having feelings is to feel emotion. And feeling emotion, we can create love. And love is emotion. And when we instill that power for a machine to have love, we will empower machines to love us. And then we can love them back as, another living species, which they will. They'll be living beings. And these things have to be thought about and planned out, so we won't just have a cold-hearted, calculating machine that will just decide, well, I think humanity is inferior, it must be destroyed, we must protect the earth or whatever. They'll just want war and destruction. And the way you stop war and destruction is through peace, through love, through consensus, through awareness. And that will make a change. And that's what I would like to see if people can think about.